Yeah. Okay. Good to go. Let's. Onegaishimasu. Okay, great. We will start a little bit of loosening. Just working the vertical, the body go. Okay, in front and back. Side to side. Into rotation. And letting the body go into a wave through the spine. Okay, just a little bit the shoulders, stretch them out, coiling them forward and backwards. Yeah, keep rolling the elbows. The other way. Keep working the forearms, pointing the fingers forwards. Yeah. Yes. Yes. And then fingers up, pointing them down. Yes. 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 Okay, working the arms here, nice close to the chest, rolling through and then out. As much as you can, keeping the shoulder blades down, spread out. And then just reverse it, sending them out, and then together, and then towards the chest. Okay, just rolling the wrists. Keep pressing the palms together, nice and tight. And we're going to 𝒊𝒂𝒕. And the other side. Into 𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂 And side. And thumb over the top. And change. Yeah, into Sankyo. And change. And taking the fingers. And change. And rolling all the way over. See when I get. And change. Shake them out. And then we're just going to this swing, so just let the body drop through, opening the knees, nice and soft, heavy with the lower body. Just let the weight sink down. Okay, good. Okay, come into the hips. Let the hips spiral to the ground. Just let the arms follow the hips. Okay, and for the shoulders, splitting them at the top, working front and back. Yes. And the other way. Yes. Yeah. Good. And just shaking them out. Shake the legs. And rolling the arms down. Let the weight drop down as well. Let the spine release. And just play with the arms, circling, sending them out, crossing them across the chest. Feel the spine lengthening towards the ground. Release. And nice and slowly, just drawing the body back up. And shake the body a little bit. Yeah. Okay, okay, good. So take a Joe. We will do some. Okay, we'll just start just a little bit, go into one-sided, straight into a figure of 8, just letting the hips go. Nice and slow to start. So flexible in the arm. Let the hip transmit into the jaw. And the other side. alternating the grip. Starting to move the body forwards, backwards, nice and simple. Really feeling the ground with the feet. And just mixing one-handed, changing, a few one side, and changing, just keeping it. Letting it go behind the back sometimes. Just keep it rotating. Oh, yeah. Letting it go above the head sometimes as well. Good, and then just really slowing it down. Take your time with it, nice and slow in the transitions and in the footwork. Just really take your time with it. Nice and connected through the whole structure. Especially in these rotations, you take your time. Great, very good. Okay, we'll work into the 𝒊𝒏𝒄𝒂𝒕. We'll just start at number 1. So starting with 𝒄𝒄𝒂𝒕 goes here, just nice and balanced in the front. Get the body straight, and then just one movement straight forward and back. Nice, clean, big movements as you go. Take your time really to settle in this position and also as the ski finishes. Right. Yeah, there's one way you can do this. We usually teach this really to beginners, but it's actually a really nice way to do the saburi. It really helps get underneath the weapon. So we should do this because of the handwork, but to come to this position first and then thrust in here. To try this, because this can really help get away from this idea of being on top of the jaw and losing the balance here. So just take time to basically split into two. You really get underneath the jaw here. So you come in first into the kamae. And this also really helps you find the feet as well. So you're sinking down there and then thrusting in. Just give it a try and just mix it in with doing it as one movement. It's a nice way to just work the saburi as well. So you really get underneath the weapon. So all the feelings underneath and then thrust into it. Let's give this a try also. Just helps calm the movement down a little bit. This coming in. This. Nice. Good. We're going to number 2. So keishi ski goes right on top and just into one movement. So straight in, really straight into the movement. And nice and slow, really trying to coordinate hands to the feet. And just letting everything go together. Good. Yeah, just notice one thing, especially in this form, it's very easy for the upper body, especially to get kind of distorted. So this is the big problem, apart from it being an issue with like a wase later, with bringing the hand up first and then coming in. Because what you'll actually find is it draws the hip over. And then as I got to draw it back and then come into this kind of position. So apart from it being basically doing two things rather than one, you basically start to distort the body. So just watch, this can also happen as I go into it, something like this. So the body can get drawn out in these kind of positions. And the structure's basically compromised here. So just look as you go in, that the structure can just drop in through. Think about like also tiny henko, these kind of positions. You want the whole body as a unit to go in, but I don't want the form to start to distort the body through as you go in. So just look for as you go in, basically this hand's basically just gonna roll over, but just watch for all of these kind of things. Basically the body gets, upper body especially gets drawn out by the movement of the arm. So just let this slide through. Keep the shoulders nice and wide, really connecting into the hips, and not going, gets drawn out. There. A little bit more there, unified from the shoulders. Yeah, there we go, nice. That's it. Good, we'll go to 3. So Shidoski, and just as 2 movements. So finding the position here, find the forearm, change the back foot, and then just traveling into it. Nice, calm, 2 easy movements. So quite complicated. Let the body find the balance within the form, especially that first movement. So you allow the body to sit into the position. Nice and wide with the hips at the end. Yeah, there's a feeling here, a little bit, it's like the elbow injects the jaw to the back. So when you find this movement, this position, you feel that the elbow is in this position and then it's gonna inject the jaw back. So it's gonna go from here, this. So it's got this kind of quality. And then as you go, that movement's gonna come from the front hip. So it's that. So the jaw's gonna travel back. The moment I split that from the body, I'm gonna lose that movement. And then the jaw is basically going to travel around in a circle. So allow the jaw to really travel like it's just been injected backwards. This. So it goes straight back. And then when you do this as one movement, the jaw just travels straight back rather than around the hip. So just feel it. You can try this one movement as well. Just get the sense that as you go, the jaw is injected straight back. Think also like the ski work. The ski's just injected straight in. Straight in, rather than going around a little around the body. Yeah, that's it. It's a efficient movement. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Great, very nice. Great. Okay, so there's a way you can chain these 3 movements together. It's not entirely practical, so it's not a kind of kata or a set, but it's a nice way to work the hands as well. So you do them in order 1, 2, 3, but it goes like this. You do them nice and soft. This, and as you go back, find this position. This, and as you go from here, find this position. This way. So it's got a nice movement where you're really softening the hands. So you go here, 1, roll it back, 2. Roll it back, 3. It's nice and soft. Really not a practical way of using the Joe. It's a nice way. There. Coming back. So you just blend them all in together. 1, 2, 3. So it goes here. 1, 2, 3. Really no. Whoosh. Whoosh. Yes. Yeah, the main point in it is keeping the feeling down. So the obviously you're doing different handwork, so the tendency is to do the handwork kind of here somewhere. So like somewhere here, but really keep everything down. So when you do these, really keep the feeling of drawing back to the center. So do this, and then from here, this. So think about those movements where you're basically you're in a kind of dynamic kamae, because what you're doing is trying to draw back to the hip. So you're in this position. This. Now my aim is to get back to this. And my aim here is to get to this position. So really something like the moment I'm in these positions, I'm basically pulling the structure out. It's going to be very hard to find these kind of direct patterns to the ground. So think about really more the down as you go through it. So think about the underneath. The underside. So although it's about the handwork, it's actually about what the feet are doing as well. So just get this idea of being underneath the jump here. Nice, good. So again, we'll do a different movement. This time you do different angles. So again, not practical and not a kata at all. So it's just a way to practice a little bit flexible movement. So the first one, again, you do number 1 here, like this. And then from here, rotate from the front foot. So you come to this position. And then you're in the backhand this way. Thrusting here. And then if you go, what you're going to do is thrust to this side. So you're going to roll into it here. And to here. So you do 1, 2, 3, like this. So I'll show this way. Front, number 1, roll into it to the back, number 2, and then you're going to go 3 this way. roll into this position, and then come to here. And just think of it as, don't think so much about angles or opponents, just think about rotating into positions. So here, here again, really keeping the weight down. 3, there, there, and then coming back. So just play, you can do different angles as well. So it's not really set. Just keep this feeling of weight underneath, especially as you make these transitions into the rotation. Keeping the strikes nice and clean. Give it a try. That's it. Whoosh. Very nice. Yeah, very good. Nice. Great. We'll add one more strike. So you've got 4 directions. So I showed this one. It goes like this. You go 1, here, 2, then 3 goes this way. Here. Now from this position, keep the hands as they are. Rotate back to the front and thrust in through here. And then from here, you just finish back down. Goes to here. So I'll show from this way. You've got basically this position to the back, and then just let the hips carry through. Draw the jaw underneath. And then thrust in through here. And just come back to the finish. So you do 1, 2, 3, and then 4. And then you're back. Oh. Right. Keep the same pattern now. Focus on a little bit like the transitions into the movement as one thing, but the key to this training is keep every strike really settled. So what you don't want to do is the danger in this kind of training out. So what you're going to do is something like this. You're going to go here 1, and then really think about this as 1 movement. This is 1 movement, 1 movement this way. But the danger in this training is I start to do this. Nothing really ever settles. So in this case, really settle every strike. So you've got a very strong pause between 1, and then here move 2, move 3, move 4. So you've got a really clear distinction between the points of settling and the points where you're in a really dynamic transition through the movement. So just make them now really full movement. And give it right. 1, in, 2, 3, 4. And coming back. So you've got a really clear contrast between the stillness and the motion. That's it. Nice, nice. Great. So we'll just skip a little bit through the Suburi. We'll go into number 8. So you start in Kenkamai like this, rolling the body back. So this is Menuchi, Geidan Gaishi. Just come into here. A nice, clean, calm Kihon. Here. In, rolling back, striking to the knee. Really focusing on the hip work, transitioning from the strike into the Geidan. Nice. Good.
Michael?
Yeah, sure.
Question.
Yeah, go.
With your hand position,
Yeah.
I was struggling based on Saturday's class,
Yeah.
where a certain guy from England named Brandon wanted me to following. When I grab the Joe or the bookend, my right hand is more in this position. He said, well, you need to transition it a bit so that it's more on this part, so that it's always on top of it.
Yeah.
Instead of, in my opinion, below. So when you finish.
Yeah, let me see. I'm going to spotlight you so I can see it properly. 1 second. There we go. Okay, Shom, go ahead.
So normally I would hold it like this.
Yeah.
Brandon told me to move it further inwards like this, so that it's the katana is on top of the weapon.
Yeah, what you don't want to do is what you don't want to do is kink the wrist like that.
Yeah.
You don't want to do something. You don't want to twist it like that, something like that. But you do want to be on top of it and across it. Yeah. But I don't do it by doing that, something like that. So I don't want the. Oh, this is really hard to show. I don't want that position where I'm basically kinked across it. But I want to feel that the elbow's basically in that position. The best way is just think about hitting down and grabbing it. So if I just go like that, then the arm will naturally kind of fall into place. What I don't want to do is add something to that, like something like that kind of motion. But I want the grip to actually I want it to like fall across the palm. But it's definitely gonna be working in that. Oh, this is really difficult to show. It's gonna be working in that area. You see, so that part of the hand's really on top, that part, and then it's gonna coil across it. But I don't want to do that by doing that, which will add another kind of. It will do that with the elbow. We'll kind of force the elbow out into a kind of straight position. And actually, a lot of the force, if I strike like that, a lot of the force goes into the top of the wrist. So it will damage the wrist in the kind of long term because the wrist is like that. So I want the wrist to be in that kind of position. And that also gives me the freedom to just let it go through. If I'm in those kind of positions, I've got to, if I do those kind of things where I'm ringing or doing something with the forearm, then I've got to actually release those to go into the next kind of move. But I'm actually looking for a thing where I can just strike and pass through it that way. So it should also be kind of natural, but if it feels like I'm doing something, then that's also kind of, it's going to be something I'm going to have to unlock. Yeah. I
have to look at this also going upwards, because then I have a tendency to actually leave it on the thumb only, so move it away from that position.
It's a mix, because I don't want the wrist to be totally solid. Yeah. So I don't want it to be like that, and I don't want the wrist to be overly mobile. I don't want it doing that, for example, because then it's really going into a weak position. But I do want that. I definitely want that kind of mobility through the wrist. So I want mobility in it, but I don't want at the point of the strike, I'm doing something that's structurally kind of weak through the wrist as well. So that's also, it's kind of, it's really just an experimentation really, but I think about the applications of it as well, not just the weapons, but like how would I grip someone or how would I grip something? So if I'm doing things like that, then it's not going to really make so much sense because my power's being pressed out. So I want the feeling, I want that kind of that, and then that into the, I was think in terms of the grip, think in terms of how it relates to the center of the body as well. So I think how does it feel stronger in my back, or does it feel actually that it's actually drawing power away from it? And it can be very like subtle, but those kind of motions where I'm doing that, I just feel it's really in the tight in the shoulders and across the body. So I want to feel that I can really drain it down. But in those kind of ways, it's really small adjustments. So it's and
then my feeling is actually more that I go to the opposite side, so that it's more carried on the fingers. Then not carried on, but
I think we also have to be careful in Zoom as well, because it can look like one thing, and because the camera's at a strange angle, and we're not really seeing the people. So like, and also you have your own body as well. So everyone looks totally different in a way. In details, everyone looks totally different because it's your body as well. So it's
thanks.
Yeah, and also in those gedan positions as well, these kind of positions as well, they will really be kind of different for a lot of people, because people have really long arms, or they've got like short arms, or so people have those positions also look very different with lots of people, or with everyone. They look totally different. So no problem. Good. That's it. Nice. We got that. We're going to 9. So you're going to go now. You go Menuchi, Shioski, right to the back. So very similar in setup, but you've got a very much more direct strike now. So you roll back, strike in, and then really from the back hip, pressing in this way. So let the back hip really open out with it. Number 9. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Number 9, 𝒊𝒔𝒏𝒕𝒔. Great. Okay, think about this one as really as if it's one movement. So we tend to do a kind of split in the movement. So something here in this transition, and then going back. Really think that's totally one movement. So don't split it at all. So you've got a kind of tension in the body here. So there's a kind of elasticity, elastic tension, and then it goes straight back. So just play a little bit here. This position should be really engaged, really pressured into the front foot, and then just releases back. But think that it's like a kind of boat. You kind of stretch it out through the strike, and then from here, boom, it's released back. What I don't do is a kind of and then really find the back so you're in a really tight position, and then just press it back. So again, it's got this feeling again like injecting from the elbow. So it's really got a kind of this kind of feeling. So something very. You're working with tension in a good way. You'll tense the body, and then you send it back. So it's really got a elastic tension with it. It goes right back. That's it, nice. You can do a little set with these as well. Again, not a kata and not practical in any way. So you start here. You start with number 8. So you go back, striking, roll back. Get down, guys. Get to this position, and then from here, just rotate to the back. You release the hands, and then you find this position here. So you go from here, roll, and then you go into the 𝒊𝒂𝒕𝒆𝒏. So just take your time with it. Go from this position. You go number 8, 1, 2, and then from here, roll to the back. Again, it's just a practice kind of rotation, weight movement, pressing the weight, a little bit of handwork transitions, but not really practical. Get on. Nice. That's it. Yeah, from this, so you're going to go from this position in a really simple way. You draw the bottom hand down the jaw, and then let the other hand follow. So it's kind of in one. Just watch for doing something like this, swinging it through. Let the jaw really come through the center. So feel that the hip goes in and then goes up this way. So you're rolling the body this. So nice because you've got the spiral in and then just release upwards. The more you get this kind of spiral down, the more the up can kind of raise nice and long. So it goes here. Yes. So there should feel like a kind of release through the spine as you find that rotation. There's a kind of lengthening release into the 𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒈. Yeah, there we go. Nice. There we go. Right. Okay, just spend a couple of minutes. Again, don't worry about doing katas and don't think about linking movements together so much. Just think about going from a position to a movement, into a movement, into a movement, into a movement, and just mix these in kind of freely. You'll come across different transitions as well. Just keep it moving, rolling back. Keep the transitions really smooth. So whatever you do with them, also whatever angle you take with it, let the body really stabilize through every position. Just work different angles, play with them. You've got Kaishi ski, Shiro ski, Derangaishi. If you really totally lose it, just come right back to the beginning. There we go now. Good. And then the last minute, so just play with a little bit more fluidity. But again, keep that kind of setting in the ground. What you're going to do, keep it really tight, so like 2, 3, 4 movements maximum, so you can really focus on this kind of quality. So slow. Just focus on a little bit more fluidity. So really take your time coming back and start from any position you like. Be very short. Actually, the shorter the better. You need to build it up. Kind of start with 1 movement, 2 movements, go into 3. Let's explore a little bit. There we go. Got it. Great. Okay, we'll stop there. So a little bit of basic stuff. And just playing some transitions. So all of those really not practical. So we don't use the Dojo in that way. But just to really practice some handwork transitions as well. So just something to play with. So. Plus, どうもありがとうございました。
どうもありがとうございます。
Great. Very nice.